Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a video on recycling Keurig K-Cups. Now this holds true for Keurig K-Cups or generic K-Cups. There's not a lot of information on these and some recycling centers don't like these a lot. I'm going to go over a few options you've got. So what I do is I get a bunch of them and I put them in I sit down and do this at one time. I don't do each one individually. So get like a small bucket or maybe a bowl and put them in. Because what's going to help is if you can the longer you can let these things sit, of course they're going to cool off. But you want this to kind of dry out in here. That's going to help with your process. If you start doing them right fresh, like this one's relatively warm, it's going to have a lot of water in there. It's going to be a little harder to get the coffee grounds out. So the longer you can let these sit, the easier it is going to be. So the end result, the most preferable method is completely cleaned out. This is just the plastic. Okay, so it has a filter in there, coffee grounds, and a foil that we took off of this. So this would be completely recyclable now, and the recycling centers would like it because there's no coffee grounds in there. So the first thing you're going to do is we want to get rid of the metal, the foil top we throw away, and it's pretty easy because they're all pierced. You just kind of put your finger in there and then start tearing it a little bit. You want to get to the edge as soon as you can, and then you're able to kind of pull it up. Now see, this is messy. To recycle these is messy. So we want to pull that foil off. That gets all the foil off of the plastic. Okay, now we've got the coffee grounds. Now coffee grounds are good. You can do research, you can put them around the house in a compost pile, so you don't necessarily have to throw these away. You can recycle these out on your yard or in a compost pile. So we're going to get the coffee grounds out. Like I said, this helps. The drier these are, the easier this is for these coffee grounds to come out. So now you got a paper filter in there. Now Keurig, on their website, they think some recycling centers are okay with the paper filter still being in there, but what I've read is they don't really like that paper filter to be in there. So it's kind of easy to reach in there, pinch the paper filter, and then just pull it. And just tear it. Okay, so you can see there's going to be a little bit of coffee grounds on this. You still may want to rinse that out. And then you're definitely going to want to throw that paper filter away. And then we're left with the cups. So there's my reusable coffee grounds, or recyclable. This I have to throw in the trash, and these I can recycle. And then we're just going to repeat the process. Like I said, it helps the drier they are. Now you might want to wear gloves. Your fingers are going to get stained with coffee. Let's do a Starbucks cup. Now that was a generic one. Now Starbucks ones are a little more complicated. They're got a little bit more to them. So Starbucks has an extra plastic piece. So again, you're going to want to, sometimes that foil just doesn't want to tear off of there. So yeah, this one's not really, I finally got it. Once you get it, then you can kind of, yeah, not really. So they do sell cutters. I'm going to do a review on one of those cutters. So there's my coffee grounds. And again, they've got that filter. We can go in and grab the filter. Now Starbucks has that's a plastic piece down in there they keep. A lot of the generics don't have this plastic piece. And it's pretty thick plastic, so we definitely want to recycle that. But you can see the Starbucks ones even make a little bit bigger mess. So, again, you may want to rinse this out, but then you can recycle that plastic. So I just want to show you what you're up against when you start recycling these. It's not super simple. You know, this is the way, and like I said, I am going to buy, they do sell something you snap on, and it cuts this around. So it cuts this top part off. And I'm going to simulate that with a knife. Now, I don't recommend using a knife. Knives are sharp, you know, and you could cut yourself. But let's simulate cutting that plastic. Okay, so I did cut that all the way around. I did find once I got it started using scissors, worked out pretty well too. So there, if you cut that ring off, then that's pretty easy to recycle now. You know, there's not going to be any coffee grounds in there. And so this is already clean, ready to go to recycle. Now you still have this part. So you are going to have a little bit of plastic to deal with. And if you want to get a lot of people get the coffee grounds out for their gardens or things. So there we can get the coffee grounds. It is a little easier to get the coffee grounds out with that top cut off. But you know, you do end up with a little bit more in the recycling. So you could, you know, you could tear that coffee. And there you'd have that ring. You know, they still may want you to rinse that off. You can see you get quite a bit of coffee grounds. So one more thing about K-Cups and the coffee grounds. So if you have a septic system, so coffee grounds are not the best for a septic system. If you have city sewer, I think it's okay. I don't know much about that, but I have a septic system and they really don't recommend coffee grounds because it can get in and kind of clog up your leach field and things. So I definitely don't recommend rinsing a bunch of coffee grounds into your sink. So again, here's what's going to go in the trash. You do end up with a bunch of coffee grounds. I just did 3 K-Cups there, and that's a lot of coffee grounds. And then again, I think the best thing is just get a container, throw them in. You know, you do get a little bit of water that leaks out of them, so make sure it's like a bucket or something, and just let them sit. And just sit down someday and do a bunch of them all at once. And then here's the stuff you can recycle. Again, these still may have to be washed off. So you are going to use some water a little bit, and I am starting to recycle mine more because I'm using so many, because I've got this Keurig K-Cafe that I really like, and I've been fixing a lot of drinks with it. So I'm going to be doing a lot. I got a video series that I'm starting, doing all kinds of drinks with it, and so I'll be recycling my K-Cups. So if you could, leave your comments down below. I look at my comments on a daily basis. If you got any questions, or if you got a suggestion of a video that you'd like to see, please put it in the comments. And if you could, like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.